You're here because you want to be snatched. But the problem is, 1 minute you want to build definition, so you train hard. But you also want to be lean, so the next minute you're under fueling and you're overdoing cardio. You want everything at the same time. And it doesn't help that the information out there is more confusing than ever. This is why you're stuck. You're doing 5 different things at once that conflict and lead you to confusion, going on vicious cycles, and then eventually just settling. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way? I built a 4-step system so you know exactly what to do and when in order to get snatched. This is what I use for everyone. So grab a notebook and a pen, let's dive in. You might be thinking, why do I have to do this in 4 steps? If we're getting snatched and wanting to stay snatched, it is imperative we do it the right way. Each phase that I'm about to explain to you does one job, and each phase leads into the other. So if you skip one, you're gonna hit a wall. Each phase will have 4 fundamentals within them: mobility, strength training, nutrition, and cardio. And make sure to pay attention to each phase, because depending on where you're at in your current fitness journey, is going to determine which phase that you start with. Let's get into phase 1. This is what I call reset. This phase is for anybody who is not following a particular plan. Like, you know what you want, but you just don't know how to get there. You're probably overwhelmed, spinning your wheels, jumping from one thing to the next, and nothing seems to be working. You may be under eating, overeating, eating the wrong things. You don't know how much strength training versus cardio to do. And all of these actions are causing you to stay skinny fat or to make fat loss feel impossible. Essentially, you don't have the right structure or consistency, and that's why you're not getting any results. In this phase, for 4 to 8 weeks, you're literally going to rewire your brain and how it looks at food and exercise. And you're going to be setting a new foundation. First, let's talk mindset. Super important. Because if you're anything like me, you love to move quickly and impulsively. So if you find the next fad or trend, you hop on it, you go balls to the wall, all or nothing, and then you eventually burn out, hate your life, and then you have to start over again. And then you're stuck in the cycle. You're not treating your health like a long-term investment. To become successful at this, you need to treat being snatched like it's your identity. Do you take a shower every day? Yes. Why? Because you don't want to stink. It's the same thing as choosing to make healthy food choices and moving properly. Because if not, you're going to feel like crap. So don't think of this as I'm going to get snatched in a couple weeks. Think of it as you're building new habits that are going to stack on top of each other that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Now we bring in the 4 fundamentals. 1 is mobility. Nobody talks about mobility and how important it is, especially in the beginning of your fitness journey. With mobility, we are fixing your foundations. You can actually properly feel movements and fix any imbalances that you may have. And the odds are you have some imbalances. Due to being sedentary and even sitting at a desk all day, you probably in your upper body have rounded shoulders or upper cross syndrome. And in your lower body, you may have tight hips, hip shifts, knee valgus, knee pain, lower back pain, you name it. These are the most common ones that I see. These could also be due to getting in an accident, getting surgery, etc., etc. So part of these first 4 weeks, you need a plan on how you're going to tackle these imbalances. And the best way to do this is to give yourself an assessment. You could do things like an overhead squats, some kind of a hinge movement, lunge, push-ups, pull movements, and a plank. Based on what you see, you're gonna have to come up with a plan. And I know that sounds really confusing. I actually have a video on mobility. I'll link it down below. Watch that if you're starting at this phase. Next, we have strength training. When you typically see strength training everywhere, most people are doing things like 4 sets of 12, 3 sets of 10. I'm actually not going to recommend that in this very phase. Instead, I'm going to recommend circuit style training. Why? Because circuit style training is actually going to help you build muscular endurance. It's going to burn more calories, and it's going to get your body moving in a way that preps you for your next phase. Circuit style training simply just involves 3 movements back to back without rest. So your workout split is going to look something like mobility, dynamic warm up, warming up the core, dynamic stretching, all that, Then you're gonna go into the circuit style training. 3 workouts back to back without rest and about 3 to 4 rounds, doing anywhere between 10 to 20 reps and maybe a minute rest between rounds. And then you're gonna do that again with another 3 sets of workouts. I recommend making your splits like full body. So for example, maybe your first circuit is your lower body. Maybe it's a squat, a hinge, and a lunge, or a step up. And then your second circuit could be some kind of push movements, some kind of row movement, like a pull, and then a core. You can really spruce it up however you want, as long as you're repeating the same movements every week, improving your movements in some way, whether it's better form, less rest time, more reps and sets, or heavier weight. Do this structure anywhere from 2 to 5 days a week, depending on your schedule, your level of fitness, etc. The third fundamental is nutrition. In this particular phase, we're actually going to be establishing a new baseline for your calories and macros. This way, you're actually prepped for fat loss. So we're not necessarily losing a bunch of fat right now. Because let's be real, most of you watching this right now are one of 3 people. You could be person A, who's overtrained, underfueled, and because of this, holding on to excess visceral fat, and you probably need a reverse diet. You could be person B, sedentary, overeating, and because of this, holding excess visceral fat, but maybe you need a calorie deficit. Or let's say you're person C. You're at a decent weight, but a lot of this weight is fat and not muscle. So for you, you would need a body recomp, which is gonna maybe allow you to be at maintenance calories or a slight calorie deficit. There are a plethora of examples. This is not a one size fits all. I will link videos down below for each 3 of those examples. But real quick, in a nutshell, this is how you're gonna find out what you actually need. To find your maintenance calories, you wanna track your weight every day for 7 days, and also track your food on a food tracking app for 7 days. If your weight stays relatively the same, take your total calories, add them up, and divide them by 7. This is going to be your average calories. You want to then compare that average calories to that of a TDEE calculator. You can find this on Google. If you're eating way below your maintenance calories, you're gonna need a reverse diet. Watch that video. If you're eating way above your maintenance, you're gonna need a calorie deficit. If you're eating maybe around your maintenance, you're probably gonna need a body recomp. Watch the video below. Either way, you're gonna need a calorie goal and a protein goal. Those are the 2 most important things. To find your protein goal, you're going to multiply your body weight between 0.7 and 1.0 in grams. The rest are gonna be for carbs and fats. You also want to eat minimally processed foods from the earth so your body can actually use your food as fuel and so that you don't feel inflamed and gross. The last fundamental, of course, is cardio. If you're one of those people that are obsessed with their step counts, you could stop now. Step counts are just the minimal baseline. Of course, you should get, 5 to 10K steps a day. I want you to start with 30 minutes of actual cardio per day. This could mean an incline treadmill, just something that's a little bit harder than just walking. I'm not saying kill yourself because that's not what we're doing right now. We're not actually using cardio as a fat loss tool yet. Right now, we're just building the habit. This phase is gonna last you again, anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks. You know you're done with this phase when you've actually been consistent for those 4 to 8 weeks on tracking your food, not missing your workouts about 80% of the time. You're also gonna feel like you're sleeping better, you have more energy, your clothes are probably fitting just a little bit better, and you're probably feeling a little bit tighter too. This brings us to phase 2, rebuild. This is the fun part where we can actually put on a crazy amount of muscle. Mind you, we couldn't have done this to start though because we didn't have our foundation. Rebuild is for you if you already have somewhat of a foundation. You have a routine, you're consistent in what you're doing, but you're still not snatched. You've built all these habits, but maybe you're afraid of lifting heavy because you think you're gonna get bulky or whatever the case is. We need to move past that. Being snatched means you're actually building definition in your upper body, your lower body, and your core. It's not about just shrinking your waist size. Once we properly build this in this phase, we're going to reveal it later. Our first fundamental, mobility. When it comes to mobility, you want to reassess the same movements that you did in the last phase and see how they've improved. Perhaps during your overhead squat, you're more even now. Maybe both glutes are working together now, etc. You should have improved if you were consistent. And if you have, you can kind of shift away from just corrective exercise and more into dynamic stretching, warming up your core, and just having some kind of routine in place there. And also cooling down with static stretching at the end of your workouts. For strength training, we're actually going to shift out of circuit style training and more into strength training with accessories. So after you complete your warm up, your workout should look like 1 to 3 compound movements and then 3 to 4 accessory movements. The compound movements are going to be probably 3 to 4 sets of 10 to start, and then your accessories will be anywhere from 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15. You can do this full body, push-pull legs, upper lower full. It's whatever your preference is and your particular goals are. I actually have a video that breaks down exact workout structures depending on your goals and lifestyle. You can also watch that. Either way, just know that your main compound lifts are gonna help you get stronger, while your accessories are gonna continue to build size, look good, and stay balanced. I must add that it's extremely important to be tracking your lifts every single week. You wanna make sure you're actually improving, whether this is better form, more weight, more reps and sets, or less rest time. And granted, of course, we women have our period cycles. Some days we don't sleep well, some days we're off. It's not going to be perfect all the time. On the days that you do feel off, you just want to focus on the tension, mind to muscle connection. Also, if you do have more experience, you don't want to be repeating the same exact modalities for the whole 6 months. For example, if you do an RDL with the barbell every Tuesday, maybe switch to a dumbbell RDL, etc. And then later you can start adding things like supersets, which are 2 workouts back to back without rest. You can add drop sets, which essentially means you're lifting with the most weight possible, dropping the weight down without pausing, and then doing as many reps as possible. Or pyramid sets, which means as you increase the weight, you decrease the reps. All just examples that you can add in later. For nutrition, we want to collect the data from phase 1. How are you looking and feeling? Do we need to make adjustments? Sometimes you'll need to add in more calories. Other times you need to subtract calories. Majority of the time during this phase, you are going to stay in maintenance or a surplus because it's very hard to gain muscle when you're in a deficit. Person A, because you came from underfueling, this is where your calories are going to climb the most because you really need it to build the muscle. Person B, you may still be in a slight deficit depending on how much body fat you need to lose. And for the recompers, you'll probably stay in maintenance with high protein in this scenario. Then we have cardio. Even though we are lean bulking, we don't want to just stop cardio. Cardio is super important and we should always be improving our cardio. So I would say keeping your 30 minutes at least 3 times a week with a little bit of effort. Something that's easier than just like strolling at Target. This is not going to interfere with muscle gain. The only time it does is if, let's say, you're doing 30 minutes of cardio and then you go into your strength training day, or you're doing cardio way too close to strength training. So you either want to do it post strength training or on a separate day. So by the end of rebuild, you should feel strong as hell. You should be seeing some kind of definition in your body. You may have even lost a few inches without trying because you sped up your metabolic rate. You're burning more fat at rest now. The very last phase is reveal. We are going to be showing off all the hard work you put in for the past 6 months or so. This phase is for somebody who already has put on a significant amount of muscle. You're eating a good amount of food every day. You have a healthy relationship with yourself, food, and the gym. But you just need guidance on how exactly to change up on your workouts and how to lose fat in a healthy and sustainable way. You're going to maintain that mobility routine that you've had the whole time. For strength training, this is where we're always going to keep that progressive overload, maybe that power 5 sets of 5 at the beginning, but we want to make sure we're either adding more hypertrophy or maybe some more plyometrics or accessory work. Because all of these things are going to make sure that you're remaining strong and you're still putting on actual muscle size while being in a calorie deficit, which is going to give you that toned look. For your nutrition, finally, we can go on a designated calorie deficit. This is what you've probably been waiting for since day one. So wherever your maintenance is now, you can drop 500 calories for 2 weeks. This is gonna be your new baseline. From there, you can drop another 250 calories. Of course, this is gonna be situational. You wanna see how it goes every week, but this is where you can also do fancy things like carb cycling. I have another video for that. And then cardio. Your cardio can go up. Instead of doing 3 days a week, you could do 30 minutes for 5 days a week. I'm not gonna recommend doing a whole hour or anything like that. We don't wanna burn out. We just wanna be very intentional with those 30 minutes. So whatever modality of cardio that you choose, try to just go a little bit harder. If you have a fancy ring, if you have anything that can track that for you, use it. If not, just know if I'm doing incline walking on level 6 at Speed 3.0, maybe I'm gonna go for level 8 or level 10 and try to improve that way. And I'm not saying go all out on HIIT, because HIIT takes a very long time to recover from. It also just sucks unless you love it, like do it maybe once a week. But I'm just talking things that are gonna help you improve your endurance, because it's only just going to improve your lifts and everything else. This is where we can also add more explosive movements into your workout. So for example, at the end of your workout, you wanna add some ball slams, kettlebell swings, whatever that looks like. Maybe you're doing that for 10 minutes instead of your 30 minutes if you're out of time. If you absolutely hate cardio, you can always just make your calorie deficit a little bit more severe. I personally love food, so I'd rather do the cardio. But that's gonna determine how deep your deficit is and how much cardio you're doing. You know you're done with this phase, that by the end of reveal, you're looking really lean, you're seeing definition, you're at the desired level of leanness. And this could be anywhere between 4 and 12 weeks, just depending on how much fat you have to lose. You don't want to stay here any longer. Instead, you want to transition into Reborn. All right, this is the very last phase. So you're going to take everything you learned, integrate it, and hold on to it forever until you decide to go into another phase. You know you're ready for this phase again when you reach that desired level of leanness and you're just ready to lift more, get stronger, eat more, whatever the case is. For your mobility and strength training, you're going to maintain this forever, just as long as you continue to progressive overload in some way. But this is where you get to find out what you love the most, whether that's bodybuilding, power building, powerlifting, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's Pilates. This is going to be what you want to focus on because you love it the most. However, you still need to keep that mobility and strength training so that you can maintain what it is you have and live a long time. For nutrition, you're getting off your deficit. You want to either just bump up to 500 more calories and hold it there, or you could do something called a reverse diet. This just means you're progressively adding maybe about 150 calories every 7 to 10 days. Maybe that's 10 grams of carbs or 5 grams of fat every week. If this is a little bit too tedious for you, do the 500 calorie approach. But this is also where you want to start intuitively eating, meaning you're not going to track and measure everything for the rest of your life. That's never the plan, but maybe start to wean off of it. Obviously, if you're out to eat, you're not going to be perfect, but maybe you have your plate of food and your palm is going to be your protein amount. Maybe your fist is going to be your veggie amount. Your carb will be a scoop and your fat will be a thumb. These are just some things that you want to keep in mind. You could go weekends without tracking, and if you ever feel like, hey, I'm fluffy again, or hey, I want to get into something else, you can always pick tracking back up. It's going to be a tool in your tool belt. As far as cardio, you can slowly reduce it. You don't have to go so intense all the time, but I do enjoy that 30-minute rule, and I still use it now to this day, even though I don't have a particular goal. Now, I want to be so real with you. These phases are not a one-size-fits-all. They're very situational. But this is the framework. Everybody's body responds differently, and where you land depends on your situation, your effort, and your consistency. However, you need structure to even start, and you need the right structure. So in order to get snatched, I actually created a 12-week plan. It's called Build. This is going to give you that structure and accountability that you're looking for, so you don't have to keep guessing. The waitlist is below. If you like this video, it would be great if you can like and share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me, which phase are you going to be starting with, and where is it that you're struggling the most? Also, What do you guys want to see from me? The more you participate in the comments, not only does it reach more women, but it also helps me have more ideas to give to you. So I really, really appreciate it, and thank you so much for being here. Can't wait to see you in the next one.